The picture of the laboratory after an incident happened. Okay, can you see that how bad it could be from here to here? From here to here. This picture was taken just after an incident happened in a laboratory. So you can understand that what is the potential hazard is lying, and the potential of this hazard is lying in a chemical laboratories or biological laboratories. Okay, so these are the things we need to keep in your mind, that where you are working, it can become a very hazardous place. It can become a place of hazard if you are not following the rules properly. Okay, could be a place of danger if proper common sense precautions are not taken. Use of explosive, highly toxic and carcinogenic, because these are the common things you are using, that you are using acids, you are using solvent, you are using or peroxides. So without that you cannot do. Without acid, how you can run a lab? How you can do as a titration? Without solvent, how you are going to dissolve your chemicals? Is it? So, and then without the what you call microbes, how you are going to do check the growth? So all these things are potential hazard, and we have to use them. But so to know that using them, how to use them, then you have to wear the things. And even we are using the glassware, big glassware, the volumetric flask, the this and that. So if you are not handling them properly, then ultimately it can cause hazards. Is it? So it's expected to adhere to the general safety guidelines to ensure the safety laboratory environment. So that's why the laboratory safety, what you call training, is compulsory. And inside the laboratory, if you are not following proper guideline, you will be compounded. Okay, by the lab authority or by the inspection of authority, whatever it is. So proper attire and other things has to be very important. So the Health Safety Work Act in Malaysia 1974, one must work safely, one must not endanger others. Okay, your act should not endanger others. Is it? So you start an experiment and you didn't realize that that can cause, and then you are not there at that time. Maybe you run the experiment and you go to the other lab, and by this time this happens. So somebody was there, then got the experiment. So these are the things you has to. And then frequently it happens that when you dry a glassware in an oven and then you put it to get it cool, and your friend came in, he didn't know that it is from, then he touched it and then it become he burned his hand. These are very common things happening in the lab. So usually when you are putting the hot things in a tray to get it room temperature or to dry, cool it, so please put a sign there. It is hot. Don't touch it. Hot. Something like that. So that your friend coming and then holding the beaker, then he will be burning his hand. Okay. So these are the things that way. And then these are the regulations for Malaysia. DOSH, the Department of what do you call? Safety and health. Okay, safety goggles, contact lens. Okay, don't use contact lens, especially for females and even for males. Some of the males they use contact lens, even if you are wearing safety goggles, because the fumes, the organics solvent, they have the fumes. This is not visible. Okay, even you protecting, you are wearing that, it can pass through and then go and damage your contact lens, then dissolve your contact lens, and your eyes will be severely damaged. Okay, there are a lot of cases of there's contact lens and they got eye infection at the end because they didn't realize, because the fumes goes in and then they were working there. They thought that, oh, okay, I wear goggles. Okay, but goggles cannot protect some of the fumes, and that is sensitive to the contact lens. Okay, lab coat, gloves, shoes. Okay, this type of shoes not permissible for the female or male. Open shoes. You have to have a cover shoes, and if you have it here, either cover it. We have this cover for the, you see always in the bakery and others, they cover the one. You have the mask, that one, hair mask, hair covering it, or you make to this one. Otherwise, it will disturb the things. Long hair must be tied back when using the one. Okay, no sort of eating, drinking, and smoking. I think this is very normal, but still, this is a normal practice. Student keep their freezer, the food items in the freezer inside the lab. Okay, freezer inside the lab is mainly for chemicals and reagents to be stored. Okay, don't ever put their things, because your food will get what do you call, contaminated. because there is the other regions and others may not be helpful, healthy for you, and they are toxic. You cannot eat them, is it? So when you put your, because usually there's okay to keep in the freezer, nasi ayam keep in the freezer, burger keep in the freezer. Later on I will take. Okay, don't do that, and never use any chemicals from the laboratory for your eating and drinking. Just like sucrose, lactose, glucose, laboratory lactose, glucose, sucrose. Never use them for your making your coffee, making your drinks. Yeah, because these are not food grade, these are analytical grade or chemical grade. They have a different composition of preservatives compared to the one you buy from the market. This is okay. I want some sugar for my coffee. Just put some sucrose there. So put some glucose from the lab. Don't do that, please. Okay, it is a common practice. At the middle of the night, you are planning to have, you have the coffee, but you don't have milk. So you just put some lactose and heat it in the burner. This is common practice in the labs. Those are working late night or whatever. So these are very bad practice because you are causing injury to your health as well. Okay, so never use any laboratory equipment unless trained or have. So don't make yourself in a hazardous situation. Those you are not trained, very sensitive in instrument, HPLC, GC, AS, even the rolling machine, the macro, what do you call the microbe, the left cabinet, all these, the autoclave. These are very sensitive and very complicated instrument. Unless you are trained, don't play around with those instruments. Don't use them. Otherwise, you will make a injury or damage to the instrument, or you make injury to yourself. Okay, there was once happened that in USM we had one story. They have this pulp and technology. I think they are wood and pulp division. So at night the student was working and they had to crush the wood to make it the grinder, and then somehow the hand stuck. Okay, so that's after 20 there was they have to sacrifice few fingers, if I'm mistaken. The whole hand was not there. But these are the things that may happen, that at least the trained personnel, or if you are not properly trained and precautions are not taken, so it might cause hazard to yourself or the environment as well. Okay, personal belongings should not be left on the lab benches and so don't put your bag on the lab bench, because ultimately actually your bag will be spoiled because you have acids, you have solvents, so it might what do you call damage your bag, your laptop. Okay, and then that's why we ask you to wear the lab coat, because your your cloth is very expensive. So sometimes when you're working in the lab, you have the spillage of the one you're stirring the acids. The small drops is coming out. You may not realize, but it goes to your what do you call the clothes. It might make a small hole at the end. So that's why they ask you to do all these things, and wash your hand whenever you leave the lab or you touch any, even if you don't touch any chemicals directly, but you have working the lab. So cleaning the hands is always very, so you should practice properly. Yeah? So know where the safety and first aid, all this eye station, then what do you call fire extinguisher, and the exit plan. Fire exit plan, because always I think there is a practice of fire drill every Kulliyyah, they do yearly, and I think postgraduates are encouraged to join that. So always know the exit in case of emergency, and the number, I think the number for the security and other people is always labeled in the lab, so that you can, the person in charge, because nowadays most of the labs in the UIA Kondan campus, they are ISO certified. So you will see a lot of signage there and all the informations are there. Okay, material safety data sheet is very important, because they don't talk only about the material, they call about the first aid. That if this chemical is happened, because material safety data sheet is compulsory to be in the lab. If you are using any chemical, any reagents in the lab, that MSDS has to be present in the lab. Okay, so it is a compulsory from the DOSH and Department of Safety and Health in the work area. It is compulsory. If you don't have, then you will be it will become a non-compliance. Ultimately, there will be some consequences. Because why the MSDS? One thing is that it talk about the material, the chemicals, everything, but it also tell about that if there is any spillage, it sometime you get exposed to it. What should be the first first aid or what should be the immediately to be done. Of course, later on you have to bring to the hospital or the clinic or nearby. You have to be attended by the medical specialist or the paramedics, whatever. But till they are coming, what need to be done is already mentioned there. That's why it is making compulsory that MSDS has to be there. So have to be always the flammables and other things like solvent. You have to be careful to put the solvents together with the acids. So sometimes the storage is separate. So mistakenly, if you put the solvent with together with the acid and acid together with the solvent, then it will be a mess. And don't work those things together. Usually, all these things has to be work inside the fume hood. Okay, so the fume hood has to be properly working. If it is not working, then definitely you should not work on that area with those chemicals. If it is not working, you have to wait until it is working. Otherwise, what will happen? The things will go out, and then everybody will be getting what you call it will become a hazard. Skin or eyes flush immediately. Okay. Chemicals and equipment point. Okay. This is very important thing that when you are usually we use the test tube to hit some samples. So never point it towards anybody. Okay, point it to the other side because sometimes it might pop up. Okay, and it is pop up, and if you are pointing it towards your friends or yourself, you want to see how it is, the color is changing. Okay, it might pop up and you can get hurt with them. Hot glasses, you can see just like I was using hot glasses. Put the hot sign there. Then fire drill, fire safety, always make sure there is no occurrence of fire. Usually that's why I think in the one nowadays open Bunsen burner is now not provided in the lab. Most of them they are using your hot plate. So hot plate also, when you're using the hot plate, it is hot, but looking at it you may not realize. So be careful that your friend put something on there, you didn't realize that you have just heated it at 100 degree. So if you are using the hot plate, put a sign is that is in use or something, so that the next person there, they can understand. Okay, and then fire drill is compulsory, and then there is a annual practice should be there for all Kulliyyahs for fire drill under the supervision of the fire department. So yeah, all the postgraduates are encouraged to attend this. So that they can, if there is an incident, hope not, but if there is an incident, so you know actually what's supposed to do. If you know, then you can act. And these are the classification of fires: class A, class B, class C, class D. So I think these are not okay. I think these are all, and then fire extinguisher also they have different types. What type of fire extinguisher? So it has to be, but this is not your job. It will be already there. The fire extinguisher is suitable for our use. Okay. Not for other uses. It's mainly for the chemical and biological. And then the guidance. That's why we have a training for how to use the fire extinguisher. Okay, so they do it every year. So please attend those things so that it will be suitable for you. And cylinder, gas cylinder. I think a lot of students will be using this gas cylinder. Never ever just round the gas cylinder on the wall. Use a trolley, safety trolley, because gas cylinder is very heavy, and never put it unchained. When it is like this, because there is a point that sometimes it might get a little bit of what do you call vibration. It might get tilted and it will go fall down. And if it is fall down, then it will be a disaster. It's very heavy. Okay, so do not handle that one what do you call cylinder yourself. Try to carry it. Of course, you cannot carry it. It's very heavy, but sometimes they just round it to go to the other place. Don't do that, because if it's fall down and fall on your feet or your hand is stuck there, then it will become a very big disaster for you. So it's not safe, especially for the female, those are working postgraduate. Please take care and always ask the assistance from the lab people to help you to change the one, because usually we don't move the cylinder. Most probably when there is a changing occur, that your gas is finished, there is change. So at that time also please have done, and especially those are working with the nitrogen for synthesis and other things, then they will be using frequently. And also you will be using that nitrogen box. Be careful about that handling, because if you're wrongly exposed, then you can have a frostbite and then you might lose your okay. A new unfamiliar, never try to be adventurous in the lab. Okay, Don't be adventurous in the lab, and don't be what you call influenced by all those YouTube. There are also visa type of YouTube. They try a lot of things. Please don't try those things in the lab, because it might cause you your life as well as others' life, and of course the damage to the thing. Do not be adventurous in the lab. And these are the things that actually has been reported during one audit in the lab. So this thing should not be done. Then your waste arrangement has to be also proper, like normal chemical arrangement, and should not be like this. This can anytime this can cause hazard. Okay, so these things should be avoided. These are some pictures has been taken during an audit. Hello. Hello. Okay. Okay, lab safety. I think if we abbreviate them, the lab safety, label everything clearly, appropriate containers in good condition, be neat and orderly, store only what you will use. Always wear protective clothing, food allowed in eating areas only, everything in its place on a shelf, time to inventory or organize. Your safety is important. Yeah, that's the main thing. Your safety is very important to us. Everybody, life is very important, so that's the thing we need to consider. So I think I have rushed a lot, so I'm apologizing for my rushing, but I think this one a very simple thing, so you can understand, and then you will be doing a lot of trainings. So that's what from my side. If you have any queries, you can always reach me through email, or you can personally see me. If you are from Kulliyyah Pharmacy, you can see me. I'm from Kulliyyah Pharmacy. Okay, or I don't think 12 o'clock already. I think Dr. Tahir already here, maybe. So if any question or anything, you can communicate with me. Is it okay? Okay, Jihan. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.